Good morning, good morning. It's Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. Oh, we gotta be thankful to be awoke this morning. Yes, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Thank you, Jehovah. Oh, it's a beautiful day outside here in Charlotte, as always. No, some days we wake up and we have rainy days. Such is our lives sometime. And I want to talk about that today. I've been staying off social media, guys, because I need to focus on my school and my family, my businesses, even though this is part of my businesses. I try to pull back because I need to focus on more important things. Not saying that the world is not important, okay? But the world is turning into chaos, turning real chaotic, and of course, y'all know that's what I speak on. That's what I do. And today I want to talk about the shooting in Atlanta at a high school. Some girls were being jumped. The mother came with a gun and started waving it. Now, I constantly tell people, you never pull a gun unless you're going to fire it, okay? They even teach us in concealed class, you never pull the gun. You warn the people first, okay? Now, granted, I had to put myself in this woman's shoes because, I'm a fighter, and I'm going to just give it to y'all straight, I'm not afraid, not every parent is like me, and I say that to say, you can't bring a gun to a high school fight. I mean, she could have had it. It could have been in her car. But for her to pull the gun was wrong. Okay? It was wrong. But then I had to sit back and put myself in her shoes. Okay? Her being afraid something could happen to her daughter. I constantly talk about these youth fighting each other. Okay? I constantly talk about this. Yeah, when I was young and I was out there fighting all up and down the street with my friends, I never once thought about something actually happening to me and me getting so hurt or someone else getting so hurt that they can die. Okay? However, it can happen. So with that being said, we have to learn to teach our children talking out situations is the best alternative. Okay? Now, granted, sometimes people will push your buttons, just the way they push Will Smith buttons, And I still don't like what's going on with that scenario. I think people should overlook that because he's always been a good man. And after a certain point of time, people snap. Okay? However, there's always, I've raised my oldest child. Let me go here. My oldest child is 35. Okay, my youngest child is 12. First and foremost, you're supposed to build relationships with your children to where they can come home and tell you what's going on in school. That's number one, okay? Because a fight don't just break out in a day, okay? It gets led up to fighting, okay? Based on the way a person been treating them, saying things, whatever the case may be. Once that child has gotten the understanding that people are not really feeling her or they want to hurt her, this is when she should have brought it to her mother. Once she brought it to her mother should have took it to the school. Okay? Now, this woman got shot in her hand because she had the gun pointed at the kids at the school. And they're talking about it, saying, well, why would she do that? Granted, she was probably afraid. Okay? But as a parent, our jobs, okay? And I'm going to say this. Don't have children, okay? Just don't have children if you're not equipped enough to go out there and fight for your children. Because it might not just be a fight at the school. It could be someone trying to hurt your child, a pedophile, or somebody trying to abduct your child, or a trafficker. It could be anybody. But once you gave birth to that child, your job is to protect that child any means necessary. Okay? Granted, me personally, I've always been the mother that everybody knew I was going to protect mine. I will come out there and fight you to the end, okay, about mine, okay? However, I'm also a fair parent. If my child is wrong, I'm going to check my child, and I'm going to, make sure that they understand where they were wrong, okay? People, y'all have to get a little bit more understanding about the real world, okay? You got these people that's living in a fake world, not understanding that anytime you touch down with a fight, it can lead you to jail, okay, or death. And that's how you have to look at it. We have to be more conscious on how we raise our kids, especially our daughters, okay? Who says it best? Nas. We have to be more conscious on how we do these things. I talk to some young girls and they doing stuff. And, I'll watch their moms, and then I'll see them and they do stuff. And I say, well, where'd they get that from? Then I think back and I'm like, okay, they got it from their mother. That's why. Okay. You have to be conscious of the way you do things as a parent in order for your child, and I'm going to say it again, your child to pick up the right way to do things. And that's just the bottom line. Now, when they go out there and pick up some other nonsense, it's still your job to check that child before they land up dead or in jail. I said it once again. I said the story that I'm about to tell y'all again. I said it before in plenty of my podcasts, and I'm going to say it again. My daughter had got arrested. This is my oldest child. Okay, she's not fear of anything. Okay, she would fight anything. She would do anything. She just got out there and got with the wrong people. Okay, and she goes to jail. It was in Maryland, and she goes to jail. And the judge said to me, I had her baby. And I said, well, I need her. She has to watch her baby so I can work to take care of them. And the judge looked at me and he said, you know what? I know you're from New York. However, this is Maryland. And we do things differently down here. He said the community will help you. And I'm telling you that right now. But she's mine, okay? If you can't control her, we will. That's what they're set in place for. Now, I never looked at the judges and the police different until he said that to me. That's what they get paid to do. Their jobs is to serve and protect any means necessary. And if you are a menace or a criminal, their job is to put you behind bars so you will be, I would say, isolated until you get it. Just like when you get a dog and the dog is eating up stuff and eating up the shoes, eating up the clothes, you buy a cage. Okay? You put the dog in the cage and you say, get in there because you're being bad. And you close the cage. Then you let him out. You do something else bad. You get in the cage. Same scenario. This is why we get our dogs trained. So that way they won't be doing negative stuff and they won't have to be caged. Okay, but because that's what happens in the real world. Y'all live in a fantasy world where y'all just think that everything can be, you can just do whatever. It's not like that. It's rules to everything we do. It's just nobody follows them. The reason why nobody follows them because half of the people don't even know that there's rules. There's rules, people. You just haven't gotten caught yet. Everybody wants to break the rules, even after they've learned that there's rules. And until you people stand up in the real world, in real life society, y'all would never see the reality of why things are put into place. Now, I had to look at the way I think when this judge said this to me and the way somebody else thinks. Now, when I spoke to my daughter that night, the first thing she said, Mommy, they prejudice. And I said, no, he's not prejudiced. His job is to take the criminals off the street. And I missed something as a parent because you disobeyed me. And now you're standing before him because I can't control you. They look at us as animals that don't obey the rules. When are y'all going to see that? As hard as we work to keep y'all people out of jail, and y'all still disobey the rules. You're not teaching your children. And then you're angry when they cage them or they get hurt. You know, I was one of the ones chosen to lead my people. You know, and I'm trying. I'm just so fed up and I'm tired. I'm just tired. You know, and I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I'm tired of trying to lead my people to success. I'm tired of trying to lead my people into a life of heaven. I'm tired. I'm tired of always seeing my people in the tabloids for negativity. I'm tired. I vowed, okay, because I come from a family of nothing but criminals. Okay, besides my the older kin that I've told y'all all about, that's dead right now. But the younger ones that's alive, they're nothing but criminals. And we're always in the tabloids. Don't y'all get tired? I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing my people in the tabloids, and that's my blood. And then I turn around and gotta watch y'all in the tabloids, and y'all got the same color I do. I'm tired. Enough is enough. When are y'all going to learn how to obey and listen? Y'all got to get it together, and it starts in the home with your children. If you can't control your child, there's programs to help you. And you can also surrender that child as well. If that child is not obedient enough that you can control them. Let me tell you something. My grandson and Charlotte can tell you, okay? I pull no punches with my grandson. I square up with him outside in a minute, okay? And wait for a police officer to pull up. Because I tell him, you know what? You can take him. You can have him. You just helped me out. I go to the gym. I work out to make sure that when I throw them hands, that punch hurt. So anybody know I mean business. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a parent, and you hit that child, you have nothing to stand on. Everything has to be documented. You know, my grandson used to say, Mom, why every time we get into it, you go on social media? Because it needs to be documented. Because if I have to seriously harm you, they need to know about it. I got to cover my tracks. Because the people of Charlotte going to stay quiet because they're going to be like, oh, we don't want to be on either side. So I gotta have my documentation when I rock you. Because I did everything I'm supposed to do as a parent, and you choose to go and follow others. And I had too much problems with my son. My oldest daughter, you had to rock her a couple of times and had to tell the police, you can have her. You take your salary and you take care of her. Now, I make more than you. So if you can't take, if I'm having problems with her, what you think is going to happen to you? People, this is the way it's done. Do your part the correct way. And if that child is still not doing what they're supposed to do, you turn them over to the hands of the law. Because at that point, there's nothing else you can do. They're like a savage. A dog that want to be caged. And I'm tired of my people, my colored people, being caged like dogs. Because they cannot discipline themselves. Learn how to act. Learn how to listen. Learn how to obey. I mean, it's simple. I'm going to say it again. Their job, they get paid to serve and protect. When we give taxes, okay, when we pay taxes, that money goes to the state, goes to the federal government to pay out those people that serve us every day. This is why we thank them for their service. Whether it be the army, whether it be the police, whether it be the postal people, whether it be the fire department. This is why we pay taxes, because we need these people. And the government has to pay them. And they don't get paid much. But their jobs, they signed up to take the criminals off the street. They signed up, if we burning down our houses, to come put the fire out. They signed up to deliver our mail. These are the things that they signed up for because somebody got to do the job. But we tend to make their jobs even harder instead of living a stable life. Why? Why do y'all have to be like a bunch of savages? Especially my color. Why? They say to me, Jackie, why you smoke? I have to. Because some of the things that I see on a daily basis just don't make any sense to me. Like, just don't make any sense. Stay off the streets. It's like, stay off the streets. At a certain time, everything is closed. What you doing on the streets? Get off the streets. Unless you're going somewhere. Your home is supposed to be your safe haven. I've been working hard, okay, and spending a lot of money to show you people how to make your home a safe haven and heavenly for yourself and your family. Y'all take y'all income tax checks, y'all blow it. Instead of making home comfortable for these children. So they won't have to interact in negative drama. Do things with your children. I dedicate myself weekly, okay? Even though the government states that at least one time a month, you have to do activities with your children. It's the law. Every child needs activities. Whether it's activities in the community or activities that you take them to. Guess what? The park is free and it's an activity. Spend time with your children. Learn your children. Not only learn your children, learn other people's children as well. See, that's the way we roll here in North Carolina, and that's the way we rolled in Maryland. We came together as parents. And so these kids can have the proper activities because we know sometimes we can't do it all by ourselves. We work together. One week it'll be one parent. The next week it'll be the next parent. So we can watch what they do and how they doing things. But we still got to teach them how to be responsible and take care of themselves. This is the way it works, people. This is why I post it online. Like when I take my daughter to Carowinds, that's her favorite place. And I got the kids. I'm the chauffeur. I'm going to make sure that they get there safe and they get home safe. I don't mind being a chauffeur, even though it can get tiring. But that's my job as a parent. And then the next week, another parent will take on that responsibility. We work together. It takes a village to raise children. But if your ass is, oh, I'm sorry for cursing, if you sitting around getting drunk and high all day, how do you know what your children are doing? They said, Jackie, why you don't drink? Why you don't get high? Oh, are you the feds? No, I have children. And I have to be a mother to my children and other people's children. That's the way it works. I saw a lady on the news. Of course, she was black, running her mouth. Yeah, the mother's stupid. That's why she got shot in the hand. The mother was scared. And you stood there and said, yeah, because my daughter was in the fight. Why was your daughter in the fight? And you live next door to the school. I wouldn't have even got on TV and said that. You want to stereotype this woman that got shot in the hand, but you look just as bad saying, oh yeah, my daughter was in the fight too. Like it's okay. Let me tell you how we do things. And I've been a fighter all my life. Okay? Ain't scared of too much of anything but God and the IRS. And I constantly tell people that. So step to me if you want. However, that don't mean every time somebody jump that I'm going to punch them in the face. Or I'm going to get my girls and say, let's get it. No. I'm going to try to see how it can be resolved first. You know, this is where the words poor upbringing comes from. It has nothing to do with the financial. It's how these women were brought up. And then now they bringing their kids up the same way. It's a domino effect. But it has to stop with my people. I'm tired of seeing my people in the tabloids for negativity. It has to end. Or they're going to keep wanting to kill y'all. Y'all want to holler Black Lives Matter, then if they matter, then do something about it. Learn how to act. Learn how to do things the right way. And if you don't know, say, hey, I wasn't brought up all that great. I noticed that I'm getting into a lot of arguments or fights. Can you help me? Teach me. That's all it takes is to ask for help. If you want to be taught. Or do you want to be a statistic? Which one? You choose. It's your choice. But don't expect people to help you if you continuously choosing to be a savage and not want to change. That's just what it is, people. Sometimes we want to slap the crap out of somebody. Sometimes we want to punch them in their face. And then, you know, it's crazy because I just talked about Atlanta, about how the TV show with Nene Leakes, Basketball Wives, I think it is. I don't remember the name. All these shows because I don't even watch TV anymore. But how she used to save her peace without getting into a fist fight. These are the type of shows that you need to be showing your little girls. How to be ladies. It ain't always about you gotta fight. And then you gotta taste them to stop stereotyping, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's life. I had to teach my daughter the other day. There was some rumors going around the school. Somebody told her the rumor. Then somebody else asked her about the rumor. And then the person that the rumor was about got mad because she knew the rumor. And I told her, I said, you know what? You notice why I don't be out here gossiping and stuff. Just because you know something don't mean you got to speak on it. You tell them, nah, I don't know. I don't know. And it ain't my problem. So you can stay out of it. People say, Jackie, why you put your daughter in homeschool? Well, the schools wasn't all that great here. But I needed to teach her how to conduct herself out there because she represents me. Every time my daughter steps in the street, she represents me. Every time any of my kids step in the street, they represent me. Even when my daughter, the oldest one that got all caught up in the streets, and she goes to jail, she still represents me. She finally told me she's tired. I said, oh, so now you're tired of running with the savages, huh? That's what it do. It wears you down. It makes you old. It makes you ugly inside. You feel it now. I don't tell people things, to be mean, because people used to always say when I was young, when I would tell them the truth, they'd be like, she's so mean. No, I'm truthful, because if you don't know the truth, how would you change it? If everybody around you is so afraid to tell you how messed up of a person you are. Somebody has to tell you. And by me being that way, got me this spot today. Okay? So I can tell y'all where y'all mess up at. Because I'm not afraid to tell y'all. And I will continue to tell y'all. That's why. Because I'm tired of seeing my people, okay, in the tabloids. I had to go through the embarrassment growing up with my people faces on the front page of the newspaper, and it was always for bad. I had to walk the streets of Harlem in the Bronx with my family members on the front page of the newspaper. I had to deal with that embarrassment on a daily basis. It is, I'm older now, and my people, when I say my people, I mean my colored people, are always on the front page of the paper for robbery, for criminal activity. Enough is enough. It doesn't make any sense how we have generation behind generation behind generation that just can't control themselves. When are y'all going to stand and take control of your homes and raising your children? When? Don't pray and hope and that they touch down with me. Because I'm tired of working the communities. I'm tired of teaching these kids. Because I got my own kids to raise. I'm tired of teaching grown-ass men what their mamas didn't teach them. Start standing up and raising your children. And if you need help, ask for it. I'll never forget in my community right here. I call a colleague, because we worked together in the community, and also a friend. I'll never forget, the kids was over at her place, just acting up. And I was in my bed. I'll never forget it. It was 5 a.m. in the morning. And she was banging on my door. And I said, who in the hell is banging on my door at 5 a.m.? She had all the kids having a sleepover at her house. And they was just acting out at 5 a.m. in the morning. She knew she couldn't handle it by herself. So she came and got me. And y'all know I was furious. I went over there to fight. You waking me up at 5 a.m. And I ain't even had time to get my cigarette in. So I went on over there and I had to shut it down. Because I steps to the kids that think they want to jump. You want to leap at an adult? Instead of standing in a child's place. Because when I was coming up, when an adult spoke, the children listened. My whole community in the Bronx, I market them every single day. Every parent that raised me, when they spoke, we listened. These kids today want to jump in adults' face. But I tell them in a minute, I fight kids. Then I got another one. She fight them too. You will not disrespect me. You will stay in a child's place or I will put you on your neck. And I'm sorry your mama didn't raise you right. But it starts today, here in front of me. But I'm getting tired of raising other people's children because they lacked the responsibility. When do I get to live? I've been in these communities for 30 years, helping people raise their children, understanding what's going on out here because mine wasn't perfect either. That's why I took on the job. We have to get to the bottom of it. But I'm tired. I want to live my life. Enough is enough. These females are supposed to be princesses. How the hell are y'all walking around talking about, I'm a queen, when your child, you ain't even raising your child right? How are you a queen? You ask me why I smoke. How are you a king? This is for the men too. How are you a king when you can't even live a stable lifestyle? Everything starts in the home. Everything. My daughter said to me the other day, I know my daughter, she gets great grades. She's always been a smart cookie, But she feels because she works really hard on her grades, she shouldn't have to do anything else. That's a no-no in my house. So we get the fighting and we get the bickering. Just because she get good grades don't mean I'm going to stand down. Because guess what? You want money, you want clothes, you want shoes. The government tells me, as long as you have clothes, as long as you have food to eat, that they're satisfied. Doesn't matter where it comes from. So I could take you to the thrift store. I can go get food at the pantry, put it on the table. I did what I had to do to feed you. I don't have to give you the best. I choose to. But I could also take it away. Some of these parents think giving their kids everything, they would get the best out of them. No, most of the time you get the worst out of them, And I've learned that because my first child, I gave her everything. And I mean, I gave her everything. She didn't want for nothing. I worked 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that my daughter had what she wanted and what she needed. It was the best dress. It had all the new. But look where she sits right now. In a jail cell. Because I taught her that having the best was necessary. Having money was necessary. But as I grew and had more children, I learned. When my son was born, my son's father, he was one that always wore all the new sneakers. Always had on a fresh pair of kicks. So he started to raise his son that way. But he was a baby, so he didn't really know. And then I started pressuring him. Now this is the how can I put it? The road that you chose for your son. You wanted him to have all the fresh kicks. So guess what? Some new ones just came out. And I took on that responsibility that he started. And then he came to me. This is where communication comes in at. He came to me and he said, he can't have everything because I need some things too. And so do you. And I looked at him and I said, okay. So now we're going to learn a different way to parent our child, which we did. And guess what? My son had everything. He just didn't have the most expensive everything. My son didn't grow up with Jordans. He grew up with Adidas, Pumas, but he always had the finest. When the new video games came out, I was on the line with getting the video games. If he wanted activity, sports, he got it. And they thought my son was rich, the kids. Because we didn't waste money on sneakers. The kids would always come to our house because he had a pool, because he had a basketball hoop, because he had all the video games. He had activities. We invested in our child. We co-parent without the fighting, the arguing, the bickering. And that's why I say, out of all my kids' fathers, he's the best. And we started out fighting and arguing. But he came to his senses and said, let me sit down and talk to my son's mother, and we're going to get this right. We're going to make sure that our son is not a statistic. It's our job. And we lived in 2 different states. And we still co-parented and did what we were supposed to do. And he got married, and we even joined her into the process. It was only right. Because it wasn't about us. It was about the child. People say to me, like with my daughter's father, I got along with both of his baby mothers. One was his ex-wife, one was his kid's mother. I didn't have no beef with them. Didn't choose to have no beef with them. Even though if they wanted to throw hands, I could. But it wasn't about us in a relationship. It was about that child. Seeing everybody at peace, getting along. Having a step parents that's there for them, even though their other parent is not there all the time. So when they would bring their kids, I would take care of their kids the same way I would take care of my own. The same way I take care of kids here in my community. If I see you doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you. I ain't got to always go talk to your mother. Because your mother already know how I get down. I'm going to treat your child the way I treat mine. And if you don't like it, then you don't bring your child around. Because when your child is around me, your child is going to learn. And that's the way it is. Like yesterday, I'm going to use this for instance. One of my kids in the community, their dog poops. And I said, hold on, hey, where you going? You got to get that up. And she looked at me like, really? Yep. Go get you a bag and poop, scoop that poop. We're not doing that around here. I don't care what you see other people do. But you won't be the generation that's going to leave the poop out there nasty to get all in the grass when there's kids that play in the grass. Did I have to fight with her mom? No. When they leave mess outside, get this mess up. We're going to have a clean community. I don't get to see all the kids that leave mess. But when I say, hey, that's all it takes, people. Because sometimes parents work. Or they may not be able to see everything that their children do. So when you as a parent see it, address it. And then if the parent want to come to you on some nonsense, you let them know, hey, look, train your child. That's your job. That's all you got to say to them. And shut them down. Like you're not doing your part. I shouldn't have to say nothing to your child because your child should be trained properly. That must mean you're not trained properly. Don't let me go deeper. Because I can. Granted, not everybody's like me, and I get that. I get that. I had to understand that. Not everybody's like you, Jackie. Not everybody has the heart you have. Not everybody has the fear you have. Not everybody cares like you care. Because that's what it really boils down to. How much you love your people. You love them enough to train them the proper way. So they won't be stereotyped. So they won't be looked down upon. So they won't be caged. How much do you really love your people? And that's what it all boils down to. They say to me, Jackie, why do you always help the stars? Because they're serious about their dreams. I know because they work to get there. But what about us? You haven't showed me anything. Show me something. You could talk a good game and tell me you want to do X, Y, and Z. Show me. Then I will take the initiative to help you. Show me. I forgot what state that is. They say, oh, I'm from the show me state. I forgot. But that's where I got that from. Show me. Show me that this is what you want. Prove it. They said, why you always showing stuff online? Because I'm proving it to people. This is who I am, and this is what I'm going to be, and this is what I'm building. Because I need help. And they gave me the help that I needed. Don't talk down upon me because I'm making music I have music with these big companies that decided to help me. And I'm showing them the progress. Because you don't understand. Don't stereotype me. Since you don't want to understand, mind your business. Because all it takes is to ask how it's done. And the person that I am, I'm going to tell you. Just like, I think I said this last night. I was talking to a radio host the other day. And she said, well, what do you do in the community? I'm community. That means I do everything in the community. From taking elderlies to the stores, to the doctors, helping the kids, feeding them, whatever it takes to make our communities better. Why should you be asking me the details of what do I do if I'm telling you community? You should know already. We that work in the community are hands-on. We work the hardest. That's why we should get the most support. But do they give it to us? No. They'd rather give it to the scammers. Well, I'm tired. And I'm going to just be honest. I'm tired of being out here trying to help these children and their parents don't even give a damn. I'm tired. I'm tired of teaching them the laws, what to do and what not to do. God sometimes even have to show me, like my young boys in this community, they was always with the guns and shooting each other and everything. And I told them, stop, fight if it's a problem. Don't shoot the guns. One of my favorites, put down the gun. A nigga stepped to him and he beat his ass so bad and he still wound up in damn jail. So now I gotta teach my people, don't even fight. Just walk away. Or do it verbally. Because one of my kids still got hurt. And have to go to court and go and get jail sentences because he said, I'm gonna put down the gun. And I'm gonna fight it out. Because that's what Miss JJ said to do. And they still lock my boy up. We have to think, people. You're automatically a savage just because of the color of your skin. This is gonna be y'all job for the day. I want y'all to Google what black is. It says, I want y'all to Google it, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it says. It says African American or Jamaican. Now, granted, I'm a Hispanic and I'm black native. When I walk the streets and they look at my skin, they say I'm black. I have songs that I've made in a Jamaican accent. So I'm looked at as being black, according to Google. Don't y'all see where they stereotyped us? And I'm not Jamaican. And according to my ancestors, I'm not African either. But I have dark-colored skin. The Cubans were have dark-colored skin. We're still looked at as black. Because when the police pull up on us and they're calling for help, the first thing they're going to say is, before they even speak to you, I have a black female, whatever the case may be, not knowing that I'm Cuban. Do y'all see how they have stereotyped us? It's time for that to be reversed. Enough is enough. And it starts with us changing that, changing the way we do things. So we can stop being stereotyped. I had to go off on a cop one day, came to my house. And he said to me, I had to put his ass out my house too. I had 5 of them in here. And about my grandson. He wasn't listening this particular day. Now my allergies was a mess. And I ain't feel like fighting this particular day. And he did something. Police wound up in my living room again for the 50th time. And I'm like, here we go again. And so the police was like, well, it's your job to make him stay in the house. I told the officer, I said, officer, he's 16 years old. Even if I tell him to stay in the house and I lock the doors, he's old enough and big enough to get up, open up the door, and walk out the door. Now, if I go outside and bust him upside my head, then you're going to want to arrest me. He was like, yeah, you're right. I said, but you just told me it's my job to make sure that my child is in the house. Matter of fact, he was on an ankle bracelet thingy. That's where it was. Okay? So, the other officers looked at me and was like, damn, she's right. I mean, you got me caught in a corner behind a rock. What's that saying? I forget what the saying is. But the point I'm trying to make is, you telling me one thing, but then if I do the other, you're going to lock me up. I told him, I said, get the fuck out my house. Excuse my language. I said, you got to go. I don't even want to talk to you. Get the fuck out my house. And I said it just like that. And he looked at me. Evidently, you don't have no children. So how the fuck can you be telling me that it's my job to make sure that my child is in the house, but if I go out there and act a fucking fool and bust him in his fucking face and his mouth because he got a ratchet mouth and he talk shit, I'm wrong. So when I tell y'all these things, people, I'm not telling y'all because, I'm trying to be this social worker. I go through this stuff right along with y'all. And the cops know I don't pull no punches with them. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't give a damn what the black and white say. Make it make sense. Don't tell me 1 minute it's my job to do this, and then the next minute, because my child is being disobedient, that I can't chastise them. Get out my face. They know how Miss Richardson get down. Especially when it comes to mine. Just like the organization yesterday contacted me to help them about the COVID-19 situation. The jails and the warden in Albany, they all know how I get down. They've heard from me already. I don't know what y'all do with other people, but you're not going to do it to mine. I know that mine is reckless. I know mines ain't doing what they supposed to do, but I'm still responsible for that child, even though she's 35. So it's my job as a parent to get them letters and get on the phone, call them wardens and say, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Make it make sense. Stand up for your people. And then when we go to the jails and visit our people, they mistreating us like we the damn criminals. We didn't teach these kids how to do this stuff. They went out in the street and got mixed up with other people. But they still belong to me. I can't change that. I wish I could, but I can't. I wish I could handpick my kids. Oh, I don't want this kid no more. Get rid of that one. Let me get this one. We can't do that. This is real life. We got to roll with the punches and learn as we go. But there's people in jail that don't have people to stand up for them. And I get that. This is why they form these organizations to come together and stand up for these people that don't have family or family members and gave up on them because they're tired. I would never give up on mine. I'll go off on them, won't talk to them for months, but I'll never give up on mine. My grandson called me and said, Mom, I got to go to court. He did something minor, wasn't too bad. And he said, you got me on the care package if I need it? And I said, of course, son. But what I need you to do is learn to stay up out of there so I won't have to send you a care package. I'm tired of our family being statistics. Get it right. And that's the way it works. I even had to turn mine over to the hands of the law. Did I want to? No. But you was acting erratic. We couldn't handle you. You was acting like a savage that needed to be caged. What am I to do? Let people kill you? Or do I kill you? But then I got to go to jail. This is why we have to teach our kids. This is why we have to pay attention. This is why we have to invest in our families. You know, I was dating a guy, and I had told him, I said, he wanted to be my man, and I was like, you know, I had to think about this thing, and I'm like, you want to be my man? Do you know what comes with that? Because I live a very stable life. And people are always watching because they want to learn. So, being my man can be a very hard job because you can't act like the savages. You can't be out there doing what the savages do. Because I live a very stable life. Always have. All the way from the South Bronx. And all the friends that I grew up with lived the same stable life that I lived right in the South Bronx. They say to me, when I first came out with the song, Where I Come From, we really don't care about where you come from. What do you mean? I do. Because that's what led me to who I am today. I would never forget where I came from. Because it taught me stability in my life. I constantly say how we all ate dinner at a certain time. How we all, lights was out at a certain time. People wasn't getting drunk and smoking weed and all that other stuff. They were in their homes. And I'm talking about in the projects. But how people stereotype the projects up. If I didn't eat dinner in my home and I was over a friend's house, best to believe a plate was put on the table for me. So when I go home, I can take a bath and go to bed. Because that's how our community was set up. Only people that was outside after a certain time was the drug addicts, the prostitutes, and whoever else. But the families were in their homes by 9, 10 p.m. in the middle of the South Bronx. Except for Friday and Saturdays, we stayed out later. And in the summertime, when there was no school, we may stay out for a little while. You know, the parents would be in the house either sleeping or, we'll be out, but we knew what to do. You stay on the porch, you stay in front of the building. Do not leave. We had one parent. She lived on the second floor. She didn't work. And we would be out there at 11. She had all the parents' numbers. Her daughter's one of my friends on Facebook. Everybody hated her mother because they know she was always watching. And if something wasn't right, she was getting on that phone and our parent was coming to the window. She was the late night. When we want to be out there past on a Friday, Saturday night, and we want to be out there at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, she'll be that one sitting in the window. And she would make the call. She didn't care. She told the parents, I'll take the nighttime. Let them stay out there. I'll take the nighttime and watch. And I'll call y'all if something ain't right. And we knew it. That's why we just stay put. Either they would be on my porch or we'd be across the street in front of the project building. And we all respected her, even though, a lot of the people didn't like her. I never had a problem with her because I listened. I did what I was supposed to do because I wasn't trying to get in trouble because that meant I had to stay in the house, do more chores. Nah, I already had enough chores, wasn't doing no more. So I did what I was supposed to do. They said sit on the porch, that's where I was sitting. The community took care of us. Meaning all the parents of the community. Y'all may see me on Facebook as they pass away. I'll write a little story or whatever the case may be of an encounter I might have had with them some way, somehow. Because they were all good parents. They didn't had perfect kids. But they were good parents. And they raised us to be good people. They said, Jackie, why are you the way you are? Because this is the way I was raised. Not only by my family and my two-story family home, but a building that stood 12 floors? Was it 12 floors? I believe 12 floors. Of a bunch of other parents too. Then, of course, we had to deal with the older siblings because they would have to be outside watching us as well. They was the responsible ones, the older ones. The older ones always had a responsibility to look out for the younger ones. And that's just what it was. They taught us how to be community. And we have to get back to it. Very rare you saw a fight on my block with the kids. Very rare. I didn't learn that stuff until I went on the other side of town. On the other side of the projects. But very rare. There was a fight amongst the kids. And if they got to arguing, it was shut down because one of the parents would be on it. I would never forget where I come from. And I will always love them. Because they taught me how to run communities. This is Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, Jacqueline Richardson, whatever y'all call me. I love you guys. Y'all got to get it together. I'm tired of seeing us in the tabloids. Things have to change. And we have to change it. I'll talk to y'all soon.